Hello and welcome to British Academy. Today I am going to take a look at reading and writing files from the book Python How To, where I'm actually an acknowledged feedback giver. So the chapter is for reading and writing files, and let's start. And in order to create a file and to read a file and to write to a file, we should first create this file. So let's name it with a trivial name task.txt. It's here, and I'll use simply write something. Homework 5 1002, just some numbers, some strings and other strings. That's my website, and then some other number, and then 1003 and another number 45, for example. And now if we want to read this file, the first thing we can do pretty much is to use the built-in open function. That would be like this: text file equals open, and then we simply say it like this. Of course, because it is on the same level as our main file, we can see that we don't need to put the path. And now let's print the text file and see what we're going to return. This is what we return. We return 4 different things. So the first thing is _io text io wrapper, and pretty much this object is an instance of the io wrapper, and this is the class that creates buffered text stream providing higher level access to the underlying text data in the file. Pretty much this is an object, and it is known as stream as file object. The second result that we resolved is text tasks txt, the name, the mode, it means for reading, and the encoding, in our case it is CP1252. So yeah, not a lot. If we want to get the written things here, we should use something more interesting, and it would be text file I'll just name it text, and it will be text file dot read, and let's see what it would be when I run it. Yes, here it goes. Perfect. Everything is here. That's quite great, I would say. There is one problem: we haven't closed the file. Would it mean that we would have a problem if we run it a few more times? No, but in general it means it would be a good idea to close it, and we can even put an assert just to see that the text file is closed, if you are a fan of asserts and tests, which I really hope you are actually. Assert text file closed. That's an interesting thing. Let's see, why did we get this error? Shouldn't be an error showing up here. Bool object is not callable. Of course it's not callable. Text file closed. Okay, yeah. And I'm trying to call it. Yeah, of course. These are the things that actually are called, and this is a Boolean object. Yeah, it is closed. You can see that it is really closed, and this is not equal to false, like this. If it was equal to false, they would have assertion error. Yeah. So far so good. We can do something more interesting, called context management actually, and this would allow us to use a context manager like this with open. No idea what was that. tasks.txt as file, pretty much print if file object file. This is the fancy way to write text, and then the data would be file.read like this, and it would be automatically closed. Yeah, and here I would simply say print data. Let's see what will happen. Okay, file object, this one, we remember this, and we can also use the assert once more, but it is for sure closed. It will be file this time. Yeah, and if I put it here, it will not be closed. True, because of the tab. Run, everything's perfect. So let's go further. And further we can see the following. We can actually read the file a bit fancier. So for this we would need collections import named tuple, and we write a task which is named tuple, type task with task ID, title, and urgency. Okay, this way we created a named tuple class. And now with open tags.txt as file, pretty much copying this, and I'm going to delete the rest. Yeah, for each line in that file, let's do the following. Strip line equals line.strip. That's great. Task ID from those ones here. Task ID, title, urgency would be equal to that strip line split by that. Just to show you what this is doing, it is pretty much doing something like this. On Python, let's say A and B equals 4 and 5, so A equals 4, B equals 5, AB equals BA, so A would be now 5 and B would be now 4. This is the way to do it. This one's task ID, title, urgency. It is expecting that this tree would be splitted by the comma. And let's continue further. Task would be equal to the task, and then task ID, title, and urgency. Yes, like this. It's really an interesting way to declare this named tuple this way. It's a really quick way to make the tuple class, but it will work definitely because I'm pretty much copying the code. And now let's see, print f strip line, this one, and then task. I'm curious to see what will happen. Yeah, pretty much stripped line is this, and then we have this task ID, title, homework, urgency 5, British Academy here, urgency 66. Just thinking, is there a way to strip everything? Strip line split. Just thinking, if I do it like this, would I have something better? What I don't like are these spaces here, here. Let's see. No. Object has no attribute strip. This is not how to do it. Yeah. Okay, so it seems that the easiest way is actually to do the following. Just put a space here, then click, and then that space there just disappears. So I'll continue this way. So another thing, so for reading lines to form a list, so pretty much the idea would be this thing here would be generated as a list. Let's see how to do it. So we need desired output, and it would look like pretty much I'm going to copy this. And use tab, and then it would be like, okay, number 1, 1001 homework 5, great. So this is my first one, my second value, and my third value. Would it work? I hope so. Okay, so because list is an object and the expected desired output, I'll call it expected output. Makes more sense. Because it is a list object, we can take advantage of the read lines to create a list object. Makes sense, I would say. So how to do it? Let's see. Let's say lines would be equal to file read lines, and these read lines would obviously return a list object. Yes, you see here it returns list. That's great. And then what else we can say? Updated lines. And we put a f string. The problem is to do something with those here. So what we can say is key first and then row. Obviously row is something. I'm going to print it here just to see. A row, then line strip. Okay, for row and line. Okay, so obviously it doesn't work like this. This is advanced way of doing list. Let's see what will happen. Okay, the trick here is to do this it's like this, row line in enumerate lines, start at 1, and let's see, print updated lines, just to see what is going to happen. Pretty much it looks like this one, but let's assert updated lines equals expected output, and it doesn't like it this way because expected output is before, is below. Okay, let's see, perfect. Yes. So the next thing that we are doing is reading a single line. Just thinking how to do it. Let's go here and we can say I'm just going to comment this with open tasks text as file, print file.readline a few times, just to see what's going to happen. Yeah. So judging from what's going to happen, we see the following. This prints the first one, the second one, the third one. Is it like this? Most probably no. Let's try like this once more. Yeah. So it prints the file and then it prints the space, and the space is a bit with a space later. I mean, when I say space, I mean this signal here. Yes. Let's take a better look. Yes, the reason with readline is that it actually reads the whole line, including the break at the end, so that's why we get empty lines. That's how it looks. What we can do a bit more interesting is we can count some of the arguments. Let's see, how can we count arguments? So we can say here, hey, I want to read the first 5 only. So it took 1001 and then the comma. If I take the first 8, it will take a bit more, 1001 then whole, and then it will continue from where the previous one started. But because it's readline, it starts on a new one. Yeah, pretty much. Sounds like this. Fair enough. Let's take a look how to write then to the file. Pretty much, just a second. Just deleting a bit and starting. This is what we're going to write. 1001 British Academy, and then 55, 1002 British Academy 2, some other number, and then 1003 bit 3, that's another website probably, and then 399. This is the data. So open with open, this is the context manager, tasks new.txt, which doesn't exist. You see here it doesn't exist. W, here we say open for writing, and of course it's file, print file equals file. This is another way to write that F and something like file like this. Yeah, which one is better? It depends, whatever you feel like. So results equals file write data, and then from there print writing result. I don't like it this way. Here I'll write result. Let's see. This is result. Run, and we get a 50. That's great. What is a 50? The 50 is the number of characters that were written. Okay, if you have the time to write the characters, let's put 2 more. we should be getting 52. Yeah, this is it, 52. And if I take a look at this one, well, I get it exactly. Great. Yeah, works. What can be better? If we do not have this, if we just delete it, then we would see that it is not writable. So the default here is for reading, not for writing. And yes, this is how it is. Another useful thing is probably writing a list to a file, I guess. So let's say list data, and then we would have this 1001. I said I'm going to use British Academy just to promote my website a bit more. Yeah, .com. Ale. Okay. So this is our list data, and with open task list write .txt for writing. This file should be really easy file, write lines, list data. Just curious what will happen. Yeah, nothing, but just a funny file appeared here. Tasks list write, let's see. Yeah, the first one doesn't looks a bit ugly because it should be something like this. Yeah, so what should we do in order to make it a bit better? Not write lines list data, but something more advanced. Let's think about a way. So what it seems that we can do is the following. Just create some loop for line in lines. Yeah, like this, literally. File dot write. No, the easiest thing actually is something completely different. Let's take like this. Yeah, file dot write the new line and then join like this. String item for item in item list. No, doesn't look like this. Just let's think about, yeah, file write and join dot join list data like this, and I'll put underscore 2 here. Yeah, tada, perfectly working. We go further. What is further? Pretty much, let's think about something fun to end with that I actually liked. Okay, we can show the append function. Yes, let's finish with the append function, and it would be with open this one for append, and if it is A, it starts, the cursor position is at the end. Let's file. I'll have like this. I'll just change it a bit more. No, I'll put 1, 1 and 1 here. I'll comment out this, and what I'm expecting now is that this one would get more data. Let's see whether it would run and show the way it is. Almost. This one should have been like this. Let's see what will happen if I have it here. Just run it once more. Yeah, this is the idea. So take home message: if you want the thing to look nice, make sure that your cursor is here. So pretty much that's all for me. Thanks for watching. Enjoy your day. Bye.